Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a guide on how to be as efficient as possible on the opening night of Season 13, which is going to start Friday, February 23rd. Last season, Season 12, my group finished opening night as number 1 on the leaderboard with like GR70 or GR75 or something, and we were the first group to do our GR20s and finish our Hadrig's gift, so I've got a decent feel on how to be efficient on opening night, and I want to detail that for you guys. I've got a lot of other videos on my channel that go into specifics of certain parts of the process. If you want to check those out, just look at my Diablo playlist, and yeah, I'm going to go into detail on everything for opening night. Let's get into it. Really quick, before I dive into the video, I did want to give an update about the subscriber giveaway that I did last week to celebrate hitting 500 subscribers. No promises, but I'm going to try and do another one if I hit 1,000. And thank you so much for the support. It was a really fun giveaway. I kind of felt bad because I wish I could give everybody something, but I'm not rich, so I can't. But yeah, I selected the winner for prize 1, which, I'll have the winners pop up on the screen. And I shipped out his Diablo 3 battle chest that included Reaper of Souls. So he should have got that today or Monday at the latest. And I've been in contact with the guy that won the Necromancer DLC pack. We're in crazy different time zones trying to add each other and stuff, but I'm going to make sure he gets that. So just wanted to give a little update on that, and thank you for everybody who participated. So now let's get into the video. So first off, I'm going to talk about the creating your character and grouping up phase. If you are looking to be as efficient as possible, you're going to want a 4-person group. If you don't have a group to play with, you can go somewhere like Reddit, and there's all sorts of looking for group threads and looking for group Discord servers you can join. So I do recommend doing that and, grouping up with 3 other people if you want to be as efficient as possible on opening night. And as far as party composition, I think a really good one would be like Barb, Necro, and then like anything else after that. The reason being is after the challenge rift, which I'll get into next, Barbs can gamble for bracers that are really good for the leveling process, and Necromancers can gamble for gloves that are really good for the leveling process, the Corpse Explosion gloves. And Corpse Explosion is just awesome for leveling 1 to 70. Witch Doctors are also very good for 1 to 70 because of Haunt. Yeah, so having, 2 out of those 3, Barb, Necro, Witch Doctor would probably be ideal. And then also monks and DHs are really good because when they get to level 70, they have really good starting sets for clearing content. So I guess if I had to pick like my optimal opening night group, it would probably be like Barbarian, Necromancer, Demon Hunter, Monk would be really good, I think, if I could like choose my exact group. But anything's going to be viable, and you can get to 1 to 70 in a decent amount of time and clear content opening night, but that would be my optimal setup if I could like pick exactly what I wanted. For number 2, I'm going to talk about the challenge rift, which is an extremely important thing for the start of the season. But one thing I do want to mention really quick is you want to have a pet equipped, and preferably one that floats because they move around a little bit better. The reason being is that pet's going to kind of move around and pick up gold for you and stuff. So you just hit F1, go to your pets section, and pick a pet. It can be anyone, but I like to use the ones that float just because they move around a little bit better. So let's get into the challenge rifts. When you create your level 1 character, the first thing you're going to do as a group is do your challenge rift. You don't have to do this solo. You can do it. Your entire party can go into the challenge rift, hit start game, and you want to complete that because you're going to get this reward right here that has all sorts of materials you're going to need along the way. I kept track last season of what I got for doing the challenge rift and then joining the game and opening up this reward. I got 475 blood shards, 10 death breath, 4.6 million gold, 15 of each bounty mat, plus some crafting materials along with that. So that's extremely important and extremely helpful. I recommend doing that as a level 1 before you do anything else. Right when the season starts, do your challenge rift, equip your pet, and then you're ready to get into game. So number 3 is going to be where we finally get into a game after doing our challenge rift and grouping up and all that stuff. What we're going to do is go under game settings, adventure mode, and the difficulty that I recommend playing on is hard because it just seems to be the most efficient for the blend of speed and XP. Now later on when you have like level reduced items and stuff, you can bump it up to Torment 1 if you're just absolutely wrecking and do that for a couple rifts to get more XP and stuff, because you're just smashing, one-shotting everything on hard, and you'll still be able to clear Torment efficiently. But starting out, we're definitely going to want to start on hard, and then adventure mode, start game. And the main gist of what I wanted to talk about in part 3 was the gambling. I just talked about the challenge rift and the reward you're going to get from that. You're going to come into the game and you're going to have a reward here for a challenge rift, and it's going to be like a cash reward. So that's going to come in your inventory, you open it up, and you get all the blood shards and stuff from that. And what we're going to want to do is come down to Kadala and spend those blood shards on an item that's going to help us along the way from 1 to 70. So there's a really cool tool I want to show you. It's going to be this D3 planner here, and what you do is, I'll put a link to this in the video description. It's this d3planner.com Kadala thing. So you just pick the class that you're playing, and make sure you put it to level 1, and it's going to show you what is available to you that's possible to get gambling as a level 1 character. So for DH, which I'm going to probably be playing on opening night, I would want the Hellcat Waistguard is really good for doing damage. And if I got that with blood shards left over, I would probably try to get a Leoric Crown, because that's really good for leveling 1 to 70. It's going to give your whole party XP by putting a ruby in your helm and increase the effectiveness of that ruby. So go through and look at your class. For the sake of time, I won't go through every single one, but look through and figure out what items you're going to want to target as a level 1 character. You probably won't be able to use it right away. Even if I got like a Hellcat Waistguard, it says it requires level 15. So even though I get it at level 1, I'll have to keep it in my inventory or something and then pop it on once I hit level 15. So make sure you're doing all that stuff and using those blood shards to be maximum efficiency. So fourth, now that we're in the game and we used our blood shards and did all that stuff, what we're going to want to do first is kill a boss. So we need to do one that's part of a bounty. The ones that we usually do are Zoltan Kuhl or Magda. So we go to Act 2, and Zoltan Kuhl isn't a bounty, but Magda is. The exclamation point here means that she's a bounty. So I would go here as a group. We would go to Magda, kill her, and then that's going to give us that resplendent chest, and it's going to pop out some rares and magical items that we can get, boom, right at level 1. So usually you can get a good weapon and share with people in your group. Make sure everybody's got something that they can start clearing with. So let's get into number 5. Alrighty, 5th, after we kill the boss and get the items from the chest reward for killing the boss, we're going to want to go to Halls of Agony 3. It's in Act 1, and it is right here, Halls of Agony 3. The reason we go to Halls of Agony 3 is because the mobs are really easy in that area. It's a bunch of slow-moving skeletons, and it's not very dangerous. So as a low-level character, it's easy to get kills and move along efficiently. So do that, and what you want to do is go until you hit a dead end. You don't want to backtrack. So we're going to clear Halls of Agony 3 until we hit a dead end. We're going to go to town, and we're going to make a new game. And we're going to do that all the way until level 11, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so we cleared Halls of Agony 3 a few times, made a new game. We, did all that stuff. We were super efficient. When we hit level 11, that's when damage, rings, and amulets are going to unlock. Now, the rings actually unlock at level 7, and the amulets are at level 11. I like to just wait till level 11 and check for both. I mean, the levels are coming super fast. There's really no need to have to check the vendors twice, in my opinion, because this is something you're going to want to split up as a party, check all the vendors, and then let your group know which vendor has plus damage, rings, or amulets. All the ones in Act 2, 3, 4, 5 are pretty self-explanatory, but actually the Act 1 merchant that sells the rings and the amulets is all the way over here. So you're going to go to trinkets, and you're going to look for something that says plus damage. I think it's a range of 2 to 4, and you're going to want to check for rings and amulets, and hopefully you'll find some that give you plus damage, because that's going to make it a lot more efficient. So now that we checked all the vendors and hopefully we got ourselves some plus damage rings and amulets, and we're about level 11, 12, 13, something like that, we're going to want to start doing rifts. That's about when we start doing them. You just go down to the obelisk, open up rifts, and go on hard difficulty. And we're basically going to do that all the way to level 70. A couple quick notes on doing rifts. If the map is super GG, it's like a graveyard or Fields of Misery or something, don't just close the rift right away after you kill the Rift Guardian. Keep clearing that map. I mean, if you're killing mobs, if there's tons of mobs on the map, go ahead and clear that floor. You don't have to close the rift right away. It's all about the XP. So if the map is bad, just go ahead and close it after the RG. There's really no reason to continue going on a bad map. Go to town, clear your inventory, do all that sort of stuff if it's a bad map. But yeah, so that's about really all to cover for doing rifts. I'm trying to think. I mean, if you want to be super GG, if it's a bad map that you're going to close right after the RG, you can actually have somebody go to town right when the Rift Guardian spawns, and then right when the Rift Guardian dies, boom, they can start the process of the rift closing instead of having to wait that like 7 or 8 seconds to go to town and close it. But that's like super min-maxing. I mean, you don't really have to get on that level. It's only going to save you a couple minutes in the long run. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. All right, so for number 8, I wanted to talk about level 70 level reduced items that are going to help you a lot on that like 45 to 70 area. At level 42 is when it's as soon as possible to get a level reduced item, because the max roll is minus 28 level requirement. So you can actually max out your blacksmith because of the challenge rift. So if you didn't do the challenge rift, you can't do this at level 42 because you need to be able to have the death breath to max out your blacksmith. So if you do the challenge rift, like I said, you can come here, do a level 70 item, and what you're going to want to do is craft them one at a time and hope you get one with level reduction. I've got a whole video that goes into this, so if I remember, I'll have it pop up on the screen for you, but I've got a whole video that details exactly the best way to do this level reduced weapon process. And one thing I wanted to show really quick, if you're going to be leveling a DH this season, I've got a spreadsheet here. This is something I made for myself and I shared it with other people. I'll put a link in the description to this. But yeah, it's got, you know, what to do at each level and kind of a bunch of tips and tricks that I like to, you know, keep myself aware of and kind of read over when I'm going to be leveling. So, you know, I haven't done this for every class, but this is what I made myself for DH and what I'm going to be using. So if you're going to be playing DH, you're welcome to use this. And this is kind of a walkthrough on the 1 to 70 process and kind of what I'm going to be doing, encompassing everything. And it's got a bunch of links to the different guides and stuff that I did last season that are still relevant for this season. So we cleared rifts all the way to level 70. It should take about 2 hours if you're playing well. I think last season it took us about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So even if you're not playing perfectly efficiently, you should be level 70 after about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. And once you hit level 70, you're going to want to start knocking out those season objectives. And if you haven't gotten the Kanai's Cube yet, you're going to want to do that for sure. You can actually get Kanai's Cube earlier in the process, like even as a level 1, you can go get it. You know, but if you don't have any, if nobody in your group has anything to put in the cube, you can wait until you've got more skills and more gear. But yeah, so there's another cool tool that I've linked in a few other videos, but it's this season journey tracker. And you're going to want to start checking these off, just making sure that you're checking these objectives as soon as you hit level 70. That way you can get your first Hadrig's gift and start filling out those set pieces. So yeah, when you hit level 70, start doing all this stuff and checking these off. And then, you know, when you get all the way down to this chapter 4, you're going to get your last piece of your Hadrig's gift and you're going to have your 6-piece set and you're going to be off and running. So yeah, is there anything else that I wanted to cover here? Looks like that's everything I had in my notes. Yeah, so that's kind of your guide to the first 2 or 3 hours on being as efficient as possible and getting to that 6-piece as quick as you can. And then once you get that 6-piece, start doing rifts to get some GR keystones and then start doing some speed GRs and leveling up the gems you need to level up. And, you know, you kind of know the drill from there. If you have any questions, make sure and drop it down in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. And yeah, good luck in Season 13. Tear it up. Have a good day. Peace.